We get to travel almost every day, thinking that traveling is just a movement in space. But imagine this, one trip or one meeting can completely change your life. Traveling is not just about physical relocation, it is about developing your personal world.
Hello, my name's Deborah.
My name is Ivan.
I am Adam Bitters.
My name is Andre Piperidis.
My name is Tim Marchenko. At this film, we're gonna investigate and see, is it being exposed to the outside world really important? Hey, I'm a frequent traveler and throughout visited more than 35 countries in a single year. I started to think that most of my progress in life and important decisions happen when I'm abroad. This topic became so interesting to me that I've actually decided to investigate and make this short film where I'll see, is it really important to travel and to be exposed to the outside world to become successful? That's why I will investigate in this topic through a scientific perspective, through studies and research of famous professors from top universities and companies from all around the world, and see how the impact of traveling and exposure to the outside world affect your body. And the second part is an investigation and exploration of different perspectives of regular people who have completely different journeys. They're from different countries, they're different age, but they still have similar stories about how did traveling change their life.
So I decided to start the day off by meeting and interviewing the head of my school, Miss Deborah. She has been educating for decades and has a huge experience in this field. That's why I prepared a list of questions related to importance of field trips, exposure, and travel. So I can't wait to hear what will she respond with.
If you just stay in your own community, in what you've, with your own family or your own country, you have limited exposure to the world.
I study in an IB school in Limassol, Cyprus, and she has decades of experience in education. If we talk to her about what do modern educational systems want in exposure to the outside world and how to actually implement field trips, I think this will give us some clues.
So exposure in the context of the IB ethos would be to actually have applied learning. So that means you don't just learn the theory, but you learn about real world context. Because part of the way that we're judged as an IB school is how do we promote international mindedness and diversity. So if we don't include that, then when we are inspected by the IB, they would say you're missing something.
Yeah.
Am I going to like it?
You are. Yeah. So right now, I would like to introduce you to Andre Piperidis. I remember you.
You remember?
Yeah.
Because I've got a funny surname. Okay. Right.
I think she's like the funniest teacher in school.
Top.
You're gonna like it, I'm telling you. It's good.
It's okay.
She knows everything about what is in trends right now. And genuinely, I would like to talk to her because she has a huge experience in organizing field trips all around the world. She herself visited a lot of countries.
I want to see it.
And has a really interesting story to share with you. So let's hear her perspective about importance of exposure.
Well, subjects that we do actually are designed to link to the outside world. We like to use experiences to kind of embed knowledge and information. I can't imagine not traveling or not experiencing other countries and cultures. I feel as a teacher, it's absolutely, well, not just a teacher, as a human being that you can, when people are talking about other experiences or countries or cultures, you can actually identify with it.
Professor Adam Galinsky from University of California, in his study in 2019, states that frequent travelers have 50% higher creativity level and they develop more complex thinking than regular people.
For example, grade 8 are going on a visit next week. They're going to the Migration Centre in Cyprus because they're doing a unit on immigration and migration in geography. So they're going to find out about the refugee crisis, the migrants that come to Cyprus and how that all works, which will really expand their horizon.
I think it's really important to have as many different opinions from different people, from different age as possible in this film to make sure that my investigation goes well. That's why I think it's really important to hear a perspective of a teenager who has traveled all by himself to Dubai to represent Cyprus at DFC meeting, who's actually a funny classmate and just a chill guy, Adam Bittes.
I think one of the most influential trips in my life was the Dubai trip, because this was the first trip when I was traveling outside of Cyprus or outside of a country without my parents.
Dr. William Wu from Stanford states that traveling brings you more personal potential, plus it gains you more problem-solving skills.
I have helped the school represent DFC Cyprus for an important DFC meeting in Dubai. And I think it's really important for schools, like at that conference, to meet together and share thoughts. So honestly, conferences and trips make me feel more like an adult, because these things that adults do, when I'm invited, I have a sense of importance. The things that I had to develop were obviously being very focused.
Professor Paul Nussbaum states that new experiences stimulate the creation of neural pathways. Plus, it increases your brain neuroplasticity by 40%.
Because there are things that may go wrong, and being focused is very important. I've also developed skills like communicating, because it is very important to communicate with people in the country.
So now, let's meet Ivan, or Rayton LS.
Which creativity? Whose creativity?
He's a graffiti writer from Bulgaria who studied in US and now lives in Cyprus and also teaches younger kids how to do graffiti. And he's just such an interesting character.
I have creativity before I go to the art. I need creativity to create the art, and then the art talks for itself to the outside world.
I know him personally. He's really funny.
Oh, what the hell is this question, man?
He's really smart. He has his own business and he has his own journey of traveling, succeeding, and beating his problems.
Traveling is a very, very important part of the building your artistic career, because while you are traveling, you are able to meet new artists. They are showing you different styles and different techniques and different experiences. So this is really important in shaping yourself as an artist.
Dr. Julia Catlin from Harvard Medical School states that people who travel regularly have 35% higher emotional intelligence and they adapt to stressful situations quicker. Even at this stage, I realize that we miss out a lot by not having enough field trips and by not broadening our horizons by exposure to the outside world. I understood that everybody has their own journey and it changes their life in the least expected moment. Only by getting out of your comfort zone, by meeting new people, and by discovering new places, you can truly grow. I think that this project has inspired you to reflect on your life and to achieve some new stuff and evolve. Thank you very much for watching. This is Tim Marchenko, Lemon Boy.
Ooh, that's a good question. I went to Botswana and Namibia in Africa. That was one of my most amazing trips ever because I got to meet people over there, see a completely different culture.
Personally, I have travelled a lot, probably South America. That was my most. I spent 3 months in South America.
And understand about their way of life. So that was fabulous. I lived in Indonesia for a while. And so I went to Singapore, to Australia, to Malaysia, places around there. And I really enjoyed learning about the Southeast Asian cultures.
Barcelona. We were commissioned by Booking.com to decorate their office spaces in the city, like huge 3 floors building of offices. And after that, we managed to paint Hall of Fame in the center of Barcelona. It's the skate park, Poble Sec, I think it was the name.
It was tough because I had to kind of rely on my own resources, but it was the most amazing experience.
I think this is the One of the most attractive and artistic locations I had the chance to paint.
When I was 14, I went on an exchange with a school in France and I stayed with a French family. I was really scared because I'd never been away from home before. Wow, that's a really good one. Well, it would be...
It really is, depending on what age that you're going to be doing. You know, I would have a very different trip with class 9, 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds than I would with 10-year-olds or 12-year-olds.
So learn something of another language, try the local cuisine and cooking and food.
But for me, you know, having a bit of a balance of education, so they're learning something, they're experiencing something, and having a little bit of fun. You know, maybe you go to we went to a roller coaster park, for example.
Visit some cultural, historical places. So you would combine all of those and then maybe also, like you say, get to meet some young people who are in that country.
Sign those forms, baby!